Now, President Trump is quite eager to get us into a conflict because he had recently launched a missile strike against a Syrian airbase. Now, of course, his reasons for it was, oh, no, we got to think of the children. We got to think of the children, right? Well, that's bad enough. Now, what's worse is that he's actually being cheered on by the corporate media. Now, here I've got some very, very disgusting examples of corporate media cheering on this conflict. And first, I want to go to Brian Williams. Now, on his coverage, he said this.
Go into greater detail. We see these beautiful pictures at night from the decks of these two U.S. Navy vessels in the Eastern Mediterranean. I am tempted to quote the great Leonard Cohen, I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons. And they are beautiful pictures of fearsome armaments making what is for them a brief flight over to this airfield.
Oh, man, what a beautiful picture. Oh, look at the beauty of our weapons. Weapons that kill people. Wonderful. This is, look, again, this is absolutely disgusting because this is a weapon of war. And second, he actually took Cohen out of context. Now, the song Williams quoted is from First We Take Manhattan. And that's actually one of Cohen's best-known tracks. Let me give you some lyrics. I'm guided by a signal in the heavens. I'm guided by this birthmark on my skin. I'm guided by the beauty of our weapons. First we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. Now, Cohen died back in November, and he described this song as a quote-unquote terrorist song, saying he admires extremism in certain forms. Now, this is what he said in the year 1988. There's something about terrorism that I've always admired. The fact that there are no alibis or no compromises. That position is always very attractive. I don't like it when it's manifested on the physical plane. So he's saying, I don't like it when people actually do terrorism that hurts people. I don't really enjoy the terrorist activities, but psychic terrorism. I remember there was a great poem by Irving Layton that once said, I'll give you the paraphrase of it. It was, quote, well, you guys blow up an occasional airline and kill a few children here and there. He says, but our terrorists, Jesus, Freud, Marx, Einstein, the world is still quaking. So that's your context. So he's not meaning that, oh, look at these beautiful weapons that kill people. No, Cohen's terrorism is terrorism of the mind that shakes up the political establishment. People like Jesus, Freud, Marx, and Einstein. So talk about Williams missing the motherfucking point. But if you think that's not bad enough, here comes CNN. They're about to outdo that.
It's day 78 of the Trump presidency. What changed last night?
I think Donald Trump became president of the United States. I think this was actually a big moment because candidate Trump had said that he would never get involved in the Syrian civil war. He told President Obama, you cannot do this without the authorization of Congress. He seemed unconcerned with global norms. President Trump recognized that the President of the United States does have to act to enforce international norms, does have to have this broader moral and political purpose. President Trump realized, as every president has for many decades now, that presidents always believe they have inherent legal authority as commander-in-chief, and they don't need to go to a pesky Congress every time they want military force. It's entirely true that candidate Trump felt differently. Candidate Obama felt differently than President Obama on these issues. So I think that what is interesting is even the way in which he justified his actions, President Trump did. For the first time, really, as president, he talked about international norms, international rules, about America's role in enforcing justice in the world. It was the kind of rhetoric that we have come to expect from American presidents since Harry Truman, but it was the kind of rhetoric that President Trump had pointedly never used, either on the campaign trail nor in his inaugural. So I think there has been an interesting morphing and a kind of education of Donald Trump.
That's disgusting. That is absolutely sickening. So look at the context of what Fareed Zakaria is actually saying. So this is oh man, he became president of the United States. What, by bombing people? Is that what makes you a president? That doesn't make you a president. That makes you a fucking warlord. That's what that makes you. Also saying, oh man, you know, he recognized international norms. Yeah, the international norms that have been causing things like what happened in Libya, what happened in Iraq, what happened in Afghanistan, when countries no longer go to war, but they're actually at war. They go to war without declaring war. We actually haven't been at war with Afghanistan for a while, or a lot of these other countries, yet we're bombing the shit out of regular people, innocent people, as well as terrorists. So that's the new normal. That's what Fareed Zakaria says. Donald Trump, he now actually agrees that that is the new normal, because that's what we want it to be. These sycophants have never met a war they did not like. Now, finally, let's go to David Ignatius. Now, he's going to be talking about this on Morning Joe, and he's also going to have some very fawning praise for Donald Trump's new warmongery.
I think he found the consequences of embracing Assad, which is in effect what he did, just too horrifying. I thought the president was sincere in saying, looking at those photographs of the little children choking to death as they died was abhorrent. And I think he said, frankly, I changed my mind. I didn't think that I would embrace this policy, but I did. So it's now fallen to Donald Trump to enforce the red line that was first enunciated by President Obama, but that he did not follow through on. I think it has significant consequences for his presidency. He's chosen the least drastic of the military options that General Mattis, the Secretary of Defense, put before him, but he has acted.
Can you explain why so many people, not only in Washington and the foreign policy community, but across the world, were disheartened and concerned after Assad's first chemical weapon attack was met with no response, and what those fears, how those fears would have multiplied if they had not been answered the second time?
Joe, I think we've had these last 4 years a lesson in what the credibility of American power is. When a president says, as Barack Obama did, that use of chemical weapons will cross a red line established by the United States, and then doesn't take action to enforce the red line, air goes out of the balloon. And we watched that with President Obama. By taking that action, Donald Trump has restored the credibility of American power. He now inherits nightmarish problems in Syria. Nobody should misunderstand how difficult this would be. But in terms of the credibility of American power, I think most traditional Washington commentators would say he's put more oomph, more believability back into it.
More credibility into American power, more belief back into it. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing, according to them. That is, no, he has not restored the credibility of American power. We have been abusing that power for decades. This is grotesque. This is the media essentially saying, oh, Donald Trump, we love you because now you are actually doing war. You are actually attacking people. You said you weren't going to, and we didn't like that because, you know what, here in the media, we love war. Now, why? Why does the media, the so-called corporate media, the so-called liberal media, why do they love war so much? Well, number one, it's profits. Well, number two, they're in league with the military-industrial complex. They also get money. I mean, look, you see a lot of these ads for the military, for corporations, defense contractors. I mean, come on. Media loves war. That's why they push war at every single opportunity. It's disgusting, man. There's a whole lot of people out there that are going to make a whole lot of money from bringing up a conflict or bringing us into a conflict in Syria. And here we have the so-called media, liberal media, cheering it on, man. Just like they cheered on Iraq. Just like they cheered on all the other different conflicts that we decided to stick our nose into. And for what? And for what? Nothing. We haven't gotten anything from it. But you know what? Who got a lot from it? These defense contractors, the media. They love it because they profit off this. Somebody out there is making a lot of money. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. I mean, Brian Williams, beautiful. Oh, they're so beautiful. No. These weapons are not beautiful. They're weapons. People die. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.